A few years ago, my husband told me that his right side seemed weak. For a few moments earlier that day, he couldn't speak clearly. Through my eyes as a family doctor, this meant he had had a stroke until proven otherwise. I immediately arranged for him to have a CT scan, which did indeed reveal that he had had a stroke. Thank goodness he had health insurance. We were able to get him the care he needed. Everyone dreads the day a phone call will come that your loved one is in the emergency room with a life-threatening illness or accident. We dread this because we know that we are not invincible and that every one of us will someday suffer a final illness or accident. In the words of Congressman Joe Kennedy, even the mighty need mercy. For this past 7 years, we have had the Affordable Care Act, which, though not perfect, provided many people with the peace of mind that, should illness strike, they could be treated without worrying about having to make impossible choices. Choices between food on the table or unpaid medical bills. Choices between doctor visits and rent. Having health insurance means that you are not facing a health crisis all alone. You have 140 million other tax-paying Americans who have contributed to your security, and you to theirs. Trumpcare has a different goal in mind. It gives tax breaks to rich people at the expense of the rest of us. It removes Medicaid for millions, and most of them are kids. It removes protections from pre-existing conditions, leaving many of our fellow citizens vulnerable. Removing these protections has implications for those of us who have had the good fortune to keep our insurance. Kids will go unvaccinated, increasing the risk of infectious diseases for the entire population. People with mental health conditions who cannot remain on their medications may increase our homeless population. These ripple effects will be greater than anyone can imagine. And repealing the ACA with no replacement, as some Republicans are contemplating, will be even worse. The rich will receive their instant tax break, while the rest of us wait and see whatever the GOP plan will be. From what we've seen so far, we cannot expect much. The prospect of working across the aisle seems to horrify them. Our founders, in the Declaration of Independence, made several profound observations that still resonate today about who we are as Americans. First of all, they said that we had certain inalienable rights bestowed upon us by our Creator to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How can anyone be happy when they find a breast lump and know that they may face the horror of a cancer diagnosis and have no money to pay for treatment? How can anyone be happy when their child is born with a disability and is suddenly cut off from the physical therapy, speech therapy, and other services that will lead him to have as successful a life as possible? How can anyone be happy when they are in a nursing home and can no longer afford its services? The Declaration of Independence ends with the following phrase: we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Our Constitution begins with one of the goals of the entire document: to promote the general welfare. At this time in our history as a nation, some seem to have forgotten these wise words. In the Democratic Party, we have not forgotten. Concern for others is still foremost in our minds. What is the solution to the healthcare crisis? Debate must begin and end with the wisdom that is found in our own documents. Covering all Americans is the only acceptable option. Will it be easy? No. The one thing Donald Trump has ever said with which I agree is healthcare is complicated. That's why it's going to take providers, patients, actuaries, bioethicists, and economists coming together to formulate a new direction. And their work must not be done behind closed doors with only one party and one sex in attendance. The process must be transparent and provide the opportunity for discussion, debate, and amendments. Americans are innovative and resilient. We have solved many problems, and we can solve this one too, but not when partisanship outweighs patriotism. As a family doctor who has devoted my life to healing, I challenge Congress to reject Trumpcare as it is a direct violation of the mutuality that our founders charged us with. I pledge my life, my fortune, and my sacred honor to making lives better for the citizens of the 3rd Congressional District. And I further pledge, in the spirit of our common bond, to work with Republicans to try to find solutions to healthcare and other issues that work for all of us. All they have to do is ask.